what I've been doing. What I'm about to present to you all is a slideshow of exactly what we went through on Thursday in class. I know some persons wasn't able to attend the class, so what I've done was put together a PowerPoint with my voice on it, so you all could go through it together with me. All right, so today's topic is chord building, and we are building it in blocks, or what we call harmonically, like a harmonic interval. So what we are doing, we are building it harmonically. What is a chord? So a chord is any group of notes that sound as being played simultaneously. So in order for you all to play a chord, for example, when we played the carnival song that we played, um, you all were all playing different notes at the same time. So that is a chord. So two is that chords can be selected according to rule or pattern or at random. So how you all will be building your chords is from rules, right? And in three, in Western music, constructing chords follow a set rules, which is what you all would be doing, right? What is a triad? Remember I told you all triads and chords are pretty similar. Let me explain why. So one, a triad is one of the most basic type of chords. It is within the family of chords, but it's one of the most basic type of chords. Then we have, it consists of three notes that are stacked on top of each other in thirds. So they are making a sandwich. And the last thing is, chords is built in blocks and function as harmony. So it's building intervals harmonically. So things that you should know moving forward. So before you even move forward in your PowerPoint, things that you should have in your book, things that you should know, and things that you should be able to identify with are accidentals. You should know what accidentals are, you should be able to identify them, and you should be able to move up and down the accidental rubric. You should be able to count intervals, and by counting intervals, I mean you should be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. You should know scales, or the circle of fourths and fifths, and what is required within a scale. You should be able to form the scales as well. You should know the perfect interval rubric, which I just labeled perfect rubric, and you should know the other rubric, which is the other intervals rubric. So we have started. So in building a triad slash chord in root position, you need you need to know that a triad is built from the lowest note to the highest note. So the root, or what we call the first, is the lowest note. That is what I just said. So the lowest note is called the root, or the first. The root, or the first, gives you the key that you are in, and it is followed by the third and the fifth notes, right? So, and the last thing is, always start count. Always, always start to count from your lowest note, which is your root. Good? So there are four different types of chords, or triads as we say. So there's a major, there's a minor, there's a diminished, and there's an augmented. Now, before we move forward, with these, what I want you all to know is that we are going to learn it. We're going to learn it each one breaking down, just like this. What how to build it and form it. We are only going to be focusing on each one at a time. So the first thing we are dealing with is the major triad slash chord. Um, we are dealing with C major triad or C major chord, whichever one you want to call it. That is what we are dealing with. Good. So major triad or major chord formula, it requires a root, which is the first, a major third, and a perfect fifth. Good. So we are going to start. So the first thing that you need to do, you could do this in your book, or you could watch me do it first and then you could do it. Remember that we're building C major triad or C major chord. It's the same thing. So the first thing you need to do is write down your root. So my root is C, the letter C, right? Your second thing you need to do is write or draw, depending on if you're using a staff, write or draw your third note letter. So my third letter will be 3 up from C, so it will be C, D, E. So I land on E. That is why my third letter is E. Good. I'm just going to erase that just for you all to see. Good. Following that, we have write down your fifth, and your fifth is G. Then we have figure out what key you're in. And remember that we said the key, the note that would give you the key is your C, is your root, or C if you want to call it that. Good? Make sure that you put your note types in correctly. So you know for a major scale, for a major triad or major chord, you need the root, which you have, a major third. Now you just have the third, you don't have it major yet. So you need to work out to figure out if it is it a major? Is this note, is your E a major, and is your G a perfect? Because that is the formula that we need. To figure that out, you need to write down your scale. So we in C major, so that means we in C, or your root is C, so that means we in C major, so you write down all your notes below it. So you have C, a third up from C is E. Now, one thing that I tell you all is once it is within the scale, that means that the note is a part of that scale. So for the third, they want a major third. And in C, there's a plain E. So that means that E is a major because it is within the scale, right? For the G, they want a perfect G. So that means this G is within the scale, so it is perfect. Good? So we are moving on to the next. If you're having any trouble, please rewind and listen to this all over again, please. Before we move on, this is how it will look on a staff. The root is C, a third E, a major third E, and a perfect fifth G. Okay, so now we will be moving on to minor triads or chords. And I keep saying the plural version, but it's a minor triad or chords. So once again we will be building C major triad or chord that is underneath the working. I don't know if you could see my cursor, but if you can't, I just pointing it out. Good. So for a minor triad slash chord, the formula is different. So it requires a minor third and a perfect fifth, right? So now we're going to work it out. So we have a root, so you have to write down your root, which is C. You have to write down your third or draw it, which is E, because a third up from C, so it's C, D, E, a third would be E. Write down your fifth, so a fifth up from C, which is your root, would be C, D, E, F, G. So the notice of the writing is G. Then you have write down, figure out your key signature, and the key signature always comes from your root. Good. And you have to make sure that your note types are correct. So now you're going to use your formula, your accidentals formula, your perfect formula, as well as your perfect rubric, and as well as your other rubric. So those are the things that you're supposed to have in front of you if it is you're following this and you're getting confused. So you're going to write on your C major scale, and I highlighted the words in red, C, E, and G, which is 1, 3, and 5. Remember that once it is within the scale, that means it is a part of that. That means that it is major and it is perfect, and it requires no additional accidental once it is within the scale. Good. So for the third, they said they wanted a minor third. Now, in the key of C, there's a plain E, so that means this plain E that is here. Let me see if I can use focus. So this plain E that is here, I'm circling it right now, is within that scale, within the C major scale. So that means that it is major. Now, in order for it to turn minor, this E to turn to a minor E, you have to follow the other rubric. So right below minor, right below major is minor. So that means I have to come down one step. I hope that you all have your rubrics in front of you. I mean I have to come down one step, and if I have to come down one step and it has no accidentals next to it, going on the accidentals rubric, if it is a natural, because that's what it is, and I have to come down one, that means I have to add a flat to make it minor. Good. And then after that, now what they say I need a G, but I need it to be a perfect G. And in order for it to be perfect, that means it have to be within the scale. And so now we're going to check to see if it's G is within the scale, and G is definitely within the scale. Right? Sorry about my drawing. G is definitely within the scale. So that means this G is perfect just as it is. It don't need no makeup. It don't need nothing else. Good. This is what it's going to look like on the staff. So it's going to have the root, which is C. It's going to have a minor third, which is E flat with the accidental, and then a perfect fifth, which is G, because we're in treble. Second to last triad or chord, we are moving on to augmented triad slash chords. So the augmented triad formula is different once again. Each one is different. This one requires you to put a root, which is the first, of course, a major third, and an augmented fifth. Now we're going to work it out. Root. Write on your root. So we are forming C major triad. Your roots will be C, of course. Write on your third. If your third is E, put in your fifth, which will be G. Figure out your key signature, and your key signature comes from your root, which is C. Good. Make sure that your note types are correctly. So that's what we're going to do now. And in order for you to do that, you have to make sure that you use your C major scale that is there. So I highlighted once again your notes, which is C, E, and G, because that is what is within the scale. Now for your third, you need a major third, and in order for it to be major, that means it has to be within the scale, within the scale. So here, E is here, so that means E is within the scale, natural and beautiful, sitting on pretty. Then we have, you need an augmented fifth. Now using a perfect rubric, everybody know that augmented is above perfect. Because in your perfect rubric, there's augmented, there's perfect, there's diminished. Right? So augmented is over perfect. So that means you need to go over or up in your accidentals. Good? So this G here is within the scale, and you're looking, so that means this G is perfect, but you need an augmented fifth, and augmented is above perfect, so that means you need to carry this G up. So in order for you to do that, you have to add a a sharp next to it. So when you add that sharp next to it, it turns into augmented. Now let me explain again. This G is within the scale, and this G is a G natural. Because it natural, it has no accidentals next to it. Once it have no accidentals next to it, that means that it is a natural. So once it's natural and it's telling you to go up, it requires you to add a sharp, because a sharp raises the pitch of the note upwards. Then we're moving on to, like on the staff, C, G, C, E, and G sharp. And the last and final one is diminished triad / chord. Formula is also different, so it's root plus a minor third and a diminished fifth. So you write down your root, C, you're working out C major triad chord, you write down your third, E, you slide in your fifth, which is G. You figure out your key signature, and the key signature always comes from your root, right? And then you make sure that your note types are the same. So your key signature is C major, so you write out your C major scale, which is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and I highlighted the 3 notes just like in the other slides for you all to view, which is C, E, and G. Now they are asking for a minor third. Now in the key of C, there's a plain E or E natural, like I like to say it, and it's the third. So the third would fall into the other rubric in your books. The third would fall into the other rubrics. That means that this plain E or this E natural is a major E natural because it's within the scale of C major. So in order to turn from a major to a minor, that means the note needs to be lowered. And in order to lower it, you have to add a flat. Right? I hope you all understand what I'm saying. Then now we are moving on to the fifth, and they want a diminished fifth. Now the fifth is perfect, so the perfect rubric is different from the other rubric. So the perfect rubric, it goes augmented, perfect, diminished. Good? So once it is within the key, which this G is a G natural, and it is within the key of C, it is within the key of C, that means that this G here, and I'm gonna draw an arrow, Jesus. This G is a perfect, that is my P people. This G is a perfect fifth. Now, in order for it to turn to diminish, we have perfect, we have augmented, and we have diminished. Good. So this G right now is sitting on at the perfect level, and in order for it to go down to diminish, that means the accidental have to go down as well. So in order for it to go down, you will need a flat, right? And it looks like on the staff. Now I hope that everybody understand what I said, and I hope that you all had a clear vision. I hope that I spoke clear. If you all have any questions, you all could message me. I didn't want to take up too much of your time. We are about to cross 19 minutes just now, so I'm going to end it here, right? Thank you all for watching, and have a good day.